My name's Brian, and I live at 251. You see my tomatoes?
Hey guys, we're fixing to get started on the hog water. Right now we're getting the water cut off. We got a cutoff box right here. Tyler's working on it. It was full of dirt, so he's having to dig it out to get it cut off. Alright, so now we're going to cut that cap off. We had to cap that water spigot during the winter because it froze and busted the bottom of the water. So Tyler's going to take the Sawzall and cut off the top. Okay, before you put any cement or anything in PVC pipe, you always want to clean it. And so Tyler's going to clean it with the purple cement PVC pipe cleaner. Just put a good dose of that on there. Make sure you get it all the way around. And then once you get that on there, then you can get your PVC cement. He's going to, it's got a little, it's done got glued on there, I guess, from sitting. Okay, so our cement can is cemented shut, so either we're going to have to go get another can or see if we can break it with a pair of pliers. Alright, so after all that, we finally got the can open. We're going to put a generous amount of glue all around. Make sure you get it everywhere, all around the pipe. These are things that living on a farm or homestead comes in handy to know, because since we've been living here, we've had several pipes that had to be repaired or busted or whatever. So it's always good to have we've learned to have some spare parts on hand and different things. So we're building up our stock. Alright, so he's just putting the fitting on there. And we're going to let that dry for a while, and then we'll come back and put the spigot on top. Alright guys, so Tyler just had to run our little boy to a friend's house. And while I'm waiting on him to get back, I'm going to go ahead and start putting string out to make sure we have a straight line from the chicken pen to our post to run our fence to the make the run for the chicken. And we are not professionals at fencing by no means, so don't always do a great job about getting it straight, but we're gonna try to this morning and see what we can do. We just try to do the best we can with what we got and the knowledge we have, which is not a whole lot about a lot of stuff out here, but we'll see. So I'm just going to tie the string. This right here is where we're going to start our fencing. We got this PVC pipe. I don't know if you can see that. We got it on a piece of rebar stuck into the ground, and then that way this is going to be our gate, so we can open and close this fencing we're putting up. We're actually putting up this right here. It's just lightweight mesh safety netting. It's not electrified chicken netting or anything. These chickens are only going to be out during the day, and we'll put them back up with the coop closed at night. So I think we'll be okay where we live not to have the electrified fencing, and this was way cheaper. So we're gonna give this a shot to start off with. So I'm just gonna take my string, I'm gonna tie it off to this PVC pipe, which is gonna be our kind of our starting point for our fence. So I'm going to run the string down to my next fence post, which is right down there, and we're gonna add more fence posts between these two. That's why I'm trying to make sure we get it semi-straight. Not that we're trying, you know, chickens are not gonna put pressure on the fence and stuff like you have to worry about with bigger animals. So it's not quite as critical, but still, it'll look better. It'll look better to have a straight fence. So I'm just gonna take my string, I'm just gonna wrap it around this T-post right here. As you can, it's good and tight. So see, there's where it's coming from, and so we're coming to here, coming to right here from right there. So now I'm gonna take it and we're just going to go over to our next T-post, which is right here. So we're gonna come right here. I'm gonna pull my string tight as I can, and I'm going to go back around my post just to make the string tight. So I made the loop right there. Alright, so now I'm going to come back down here. So I'm going down the fence post. I'm coming back down here to my chicken coop. Now, we may at some point make this a bigger run, but I think right now, for what we're doing, I think it'll be sufficient. So, alright guys, so I got my fence back on here. I'm going to bring my roll back down here with me. Let's see, pull out my slack because I made a mess with my fence. So I'm just going to take the string right here. Just going to pull it back. And this string is not going to stay here. It's semi. I mean, it's not going to be permanent. As soon as we get our fence post up, it's coming down. So this is strictly just. This string is strictly just so we can make a straight line when putting up the fence. All right, so we got our fence set up, the wire, the string. It's just masonry string. It's just a good all-purpose string to use for all kinds of stuff around the farm. We got that set up and waiting on Tyler to get back from taking TK to a friend's house. I avoided going so I wouldn't have to talk and waste time, and which Tyler likes to talk too. So I don't know. We'll see who does best. had to go to my mom's this morning and ended up staying longer than he wanted me to. So we're trying to get some stuff done because we got other things we need to do this afternoon with Mother's Day coming up tomorrow. So my mom just called, and while I'm waiting on him to get back, she asked if I would come over to our garden and cut a couple cabbages out so that she could give one to her mother and her brother, who her mother lives by, her brother's in from out of town, so she wanted to pass on some of our goodies out of the garden. So I'm gonna come over here real quick while we're waiting and go ahead and cut her some. Okay, so here I finally made it to the garden and fixing to get these cucumbers cut so she don't have to go in the garden and get her shoes dirty when she gets here, because she's on her way over there. Alright, so here's our cucumbers and our broccoli. Broccoli looking a little puny. We've cut all the main heads, but we're actually still eating the little side heads that are growing. Still tastes pretty good. So this is some of our cabbage that should have already pulled up the bottom, but we hadn't. So we've just been cutting the cabbages off. See that one? So I'll go ahead and cut this one. So I don't know if y'all can see this. So all I do is I come down here to the bottom of the cabbage. We leave a knife, or I've been this year just leaving a knife in the garden, on the garden fence. Leaving a knife on the garden fence, so whoever, if they, don't have a knife on them, if they just came from wherever, they can cut them stuff out of the garden if need be. So it's actually worked out pretty well. So got that one. We're gonna get one more. Let's see. Let's find another good looking cabbage. I know the outside leaves look a little buggy, but I promise once you peel back those outer leaves, these cabbages are they still look great. You can keep all the bugs off of them by using tarps or using or the bug netting stuff, and or lots of pesticides. But we try not to use a whole lot of pesticides, and if we don't have to, this is our first year trying to be more organic, so we've been using neem oil this year. And but to be honest with you, these outside leaves look a little rough, but once you start getting in there, it's fine. So this is a big old one. So when we pick the outer leaves off, we'll feed them to the chickens over here. So okay, so we measured out 11 feet, and we're gonna put a T-post at each 11 feet. So we'll have 3 T-posts, counting the corner post, and then 3 T-posts, counting that one. And so we just got a regular T-post driver, and he's just driving them into the ground. Alright, so Tyler's getting the spigot ready to go on the end of our fitting that we just put on the broken pipe. That's the old spigot we used somewhere else, so he's just taking off the old tape. So you put that Teflon tape around there, and that just creates a better seal with the water spigot. Our hogs. So Swiss roll don't really like Fatty getting too close to her, so she was squealing when he turned and looked at her. Alright, so the fitting we got, it's just got threads on the end. So he'll just screw it in there. Just like that. Till it's tight. Snap that thing off again.
That should be. The hose will still work.
Alright, so now we're going to come back over here to our box where the cutoff valve is. Alright, so we're going to get that water turned back on so we can get the spigot going and hopefully no leaks. So Tyler's going to come down here, turn the cut off. So to know that your water's on, your cutoff valve will be parallel with the water spigot. Alright, so we got water. Our water spigot's on. Tyler's just going to turn it off and see if it'll work. The piggies are getting a shower. They don't mind it. They like the water. So everything looks pretty good. We'll be able to tell for sure in a little while once the water that was just spraying out will dry. So that's how you repair a broken faucet. Alright, so we got our T-post in. We're fixing to put the fencing up. That's going to be kind of like our gate. Like I said, that piece of PVC pipe's just on that piece of rebar. And so we can lift that up off that rebar whenever we get ready to go in and out. So Tyler's just trying to figure out the best way to wrap that around, and then we'll just take a zip tie and just attach it to it. I'll lay it down. This is our first time using this kind of fencing. Where'd you wrap that in?
Oh, not far, really.
Okay. I was just...
It just don't look even right.
I think it's just that's wrapping up more as
Whenever
we
you
roll.
turn it, yeah. Alright, so we got that attached, and we'll just stick it on that piece of rebar. Hopefully our plan will work like we want it to. So now we'll just bring our fence on down. To our T-post right here. And then we'll just attach them. Alright, so we got our fence put up. We're not professionals, don't claim to be, but I think it'll hold a chicken. Alright, Corey Bell's gonna do the honors to open up the gate and let the chickens out. Alright, Corey Bell, can you open it up? Can you do it? Let's see. Alright, open it up. Go get their feed bucket and bring it out here and they'll probably follow you back out. Is it heavy?
Put it on that, well, no.
Bring it right out here into the middle. It'll make them want to come farther out. Alright. Let's see, they're not used to getting out. Let's see what they do. Let's go in here, Corey Bell, and see if we can make them want to come out. A little bit. We're gonna come, let's come around this way. And make them go that way. Oh, they just went around in a circle. Well, we'll give them a little while and let them get used to everything and see if they'll come out. How about that? Alright, we're gonna put a hog nipple water in the thing, in the pen, and this is what a hog nipple water is. They bite down on it and it lets water out. It's the same thing like for a dog, similar thing. And so Tyler drilled a hole in that board and we're gonna put it on the board. He's putting Teflon tape on everything just to make sure it gets a good seal and don't leak. We put those big washers on there to keep the hog from being able to pull the water, the nipple water through the board. And there we go. Alright, so we're trying to figure out the best way to mount it, and I'm sure there's plenty of ways we could do it. I know we could, and we've done it before, we could bury a post. I think it's got to come up some because of that right there. We could bury a post and nail it to the post, but we're going to try screwing these boards to it if it'll work and hold it like that.
Get the hay in here. We can always move him tomorrow.
Yeah. Alright, we got our hog nipple water set up. That's where the water's going to come out. What we did is this has actually got two pieces of fence right here for multiple reasons. Trying to fill in the bigger holes at the bottom so the pigs can't go through. But so we got it out here. Our water spigot we fixed this morning. We got it ran through. We got it screwed onto the back. That's what's holding that up. There's these boards right here. and the water runs out here. That's a bad hose. The hose leaks right there, so we're gonna have to get a new hose. But other than that, we should be good to go.